Hey everyone, welcome back to my next art book preview video. This week we have the art of Evana Kisa Face to Face. Sorry, as usual, I'm not actually sure how you pronounce the name correctly. So a quick look at the front and back there. And as you could see, this is an Ominiky book. Ominiky Ediciones. Again, I don't even know how to pronounce the publishing company, but I'm sure you guys can correct me in the comments below. So as usual, the pages on this one are quite glossy, so my lighting might not be perfect, but I will try my best. I'll stick something underneath this actually. Okay, so hopefully that improves it just a little bit. It's always difficult to get the lighting right on these. So I normally ramble on through these videos just about like information I can find about the artist, their style, things like that. I'll be completely honest, with this artist, I actually struggled to find pretty much any information on them. There is a little bit of information, I'm talking like a few paragraphs at the back of this book, giving a little bit of Evana's history. Aside from that, I will put links to her Instagram page below. Her art, as you will see in this video, is absolutely fantastic. You know, if you like this kind of exaggerated cartoony style. It has a slightly Disney look to it to me, but exaggerated in a slightly different way, but definitely got some similarities. I'd say her characters have got quite large lips. And she does seem to like to draw a lot of female characters and animals. So I'm seeing a lot of wolves and things like that. There's also a little bit of fan art in here. I'm sure there's a little bit of Star Wars fan art and things as well. Also apparently some dinosaur artwork, which is always good in my books. So obviously a lot of it is quite cutesy and stylized. Again, quite cutesy animals here. Chibi animals, kawaii animals. I'm not sure how you actually pronounce it, but you guys know what I mean. And this one here actually reminds me a little bit of the Francisco Herrera books. For those of you that like this kind of thing, I'll put a link in the description box below. That's a really awesome set of books. So you can see they do have a sort of slightly Disney princess vibe to a lot of them. I would say these look a little bit more pin-up-y due to the body shapes and, you know, bits that are exaggerated. But I do think they do have a very Disney-esque style. Anyway, what I was saying is that I will put links below to her Instagram page, but I have noticed recently, or at the time of me posting this video at least, she hasn't posted anything for about 6 months, which is a real shame. From what I gather though, she does work for an animation company, an animation studio. But don't quote me on this because, as I say, I'm quite limited with the information I could find online. I did notice that she does have some French comic books available on Amazon. And I will put links to this book, by the way, in the description box below. In the UK, it was about £25. I would imagine it's a similar price bracket everywhere. But yeah, I'll put links below. So there's these French comics that I think are called something like Odyssey. But again, it's not in English, so take that with a pinch of salt. There is also another book of her work that's called something along the lines of Sundry Art of Evana, but it does seem to be quite difficult to get hold of, or there's not many of them, and I think that's quite an old book now. I don't think there's as many pages as this one. I think that one's about 40 pages, possibly from a very specific project. Whereas this one, for the price, is actually really good because it's a decent sized book, and the page count, although I'm going from memory here, and I will correct myself in the description box below. Star Wars fan art, as mentioned. I'm not sure if that's meant to be there. But I think there's about 120 or more pages in this, which I think is quite good for the price, personally. So Evana is an Icelandic artist with an interest in animation. I know that in the back of this book it mentions that she's very inspired by I think it was a cartoon back in 1997, it says, called Gargoyles. I'll leave the page up at the end. And it mentioned that she's worked for various studios, video games companies, I think like Nickelodeon and some big names like that. She's done various things like selling jewellery and open shops like that. I don't know what her current work is, because as mentioned, she hasn't posted online in a while. This reminds me of like a, I don't know, Rapunzel sort of Disney design. But even though I don't know too much about the artist, once I saw her artwork, I was absolutely blown away by this. And you might have remembered I actually did a book preview for this one not long ago. And this one is awesome. It's not as many pages as this. That's another Ominiky published book. But there's some sort of crossover in styles, this exaggerated, a lot of women with animals, Disney princess kind of look in some respects, as mentioned, a little bit more adult themed, I guess. And there is the biography that I mentioned in each language. But yeah, I came across this book and I just thought it was absolutely awesome, the drawing style to it. So I wanted to get this one and share it online with you guys. I'll put links as well to some of my other book preview videos because I've got absolutely tons of them now. So if you did enjoy this video or found it useful, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out a lot. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what other books you guys want to see next. Hit that thumbs up button and of course, switch notifications on for future content. Thanks so much for watching, everyone.